Hello, everybody. I know I'm wearing my work shirt. Give me a second. Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode. This one, I'm going to be doing this in preparation for the D&D games that we play with East Corp. So this is an East Corp video. So as you know, I am Nyx, and welcome to a very special episode. I'm going to say this now, I am a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons. Like, you have no idea. I'm a big fan. I am a really big fan, and this is, of course, the starter set for 5th edition. I played 4th, so I had the red box, not this guy. But what I'm talking about, and what I'm going to be talking about, is a homebrew game that I'm currently playing. Yes, I say currently because I'm just started, and it's called the Lich Bane Brotherhood. Now, I'm playing a character named Nyx Blossom, ironic enough, and she is a mage. Now, the story takes place for me beforehand. The story where I begin, I started on a boat, and now this boat, I'm with a rogue named Zivix. He's very strange. He's a very strange character. He just decides to do whatever he wants. So, we get on the boat, we end up in a town, and this town is very normal, and we go about doing our things, and I end up with another one, I forgot her name, begins with a K, I can't remember off the top of my head, and me and her are great. There's also an artist on the team, so as soon as that happens, there'll be I'll re-release this video with the pictures of the events that happened, and of course, you'll see what Nyx looks like. And the funny thing about it is that when we entered this, they had their own little fighting squabbles. They're like, because everybody's selling things for way too much money. It's absurd how much gold they're selling everything for. Like, there was a shield that costs like 1,000 gold pieces, and they only have 300, and we only have like 300 to our names, and we're like, what? And it's crazy. And there's another one where somebody tried getting a shield, and the shield cost like 100,000 gold pieces. And that girl with the K, I forgot her name. She tries getting an athletics bra that costs like 300. That's like another 100,000 gold, and we don't have 100,000 gold on us. We only have about 350 combined, roughly around there. Got to mention this in the actual video, and I'm splicing this in the middle. Yeah, my little liar. Anyway, there's a part in the story which I completely omitted because I completely forgot, but that's the name of this episode is based on that, and I didn't add it. I'm sorry. But no, there's a moment in the game where me and the female character, I forgot her name already. Well, I'll be saying it during the actual video itself. But there's a moment in the game where we end up in a clothing shop. So that girls wanted to go ahead, and she wanted to get a sports bra because apparently the support and the other bra she was wearing was kind of lax because she just got out of another fight, so they've been playing before me. So she wanted to get one, and the manager whisked her away, and she got a purple sports bra that gave her plus 12 endurance. Yeah. But the downside was that it cost like 100,000 gold pieces. So, I mean, they didn't have the money to pay for it. So there's two guys who came down, and they were like, yeah. They're like, hey guys. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, and she's like, well, can you spot me the money? I'm kind of broke at the moment. And she's like, oh, sure. How much is this? How much is it? 100,000 gold pieces. Like, yeah, right. We don't have that money. And she's like, okay. And she gets all sad and depressed. And then he's like, well, if it's worth 100,000 gold pieces, I'm going to try it on. One of the bards, he goes like that. And then he goes up to the manager, their shopkeeper, and he's like, I want to try on that sports bra that she tried on. And they're like, but why would you want to wear it? There's like no physical gain from it. And he's like, well, what happened to the customer is always right. And she's like, oh, right. Well, you're absolutely right. And she whisks him away and puts on the sports bra, and he's like, oh my god, this sports bra is amazing. And he looks over and he's like, Nyx, you gotta try this sports bra. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thanks very much. It's fine. And somewhere in the ether, one of the characters was like, I don't know why, but somewhere in the ether. I get a half chub. And he's like, we're all just burst out laughing at that point. And we're like, shit. Well, at that point, we're like, well, fuck. What do we do? Well, at that point, we had a lot of fun, but also confusing fun. And it goes like this, and I kid you not. One of our characters, I believe it was a warrior, he comes barging in like, bitches, we've got a quest. Because apparently the king, who I mentioned in the actual video, he mentions that he's starting up his quests. And we're like, shit, fuck, we gotta go. And then that's where the rest of the story takes place. Our artist aptly dubbed this section of it, and I kid you not, aptly dubbed this section that we were in, the Lacy Shop of Horrors. And that's why the title of this video is named The Lacy Shop of Horrors. And now, back to the actual video. Maybe a little more. So, we're like, they sold, the party that I was a part of sold whatever they had. They sold the Lich Bangs thing for, I think, like 300 gold. They sold some daggers that were gold-plated and whatnot for about 150. No, 200. One person got 50, and Zivix got 150 gold. Zivix went ahead and went to a potion shop, got a word saying, like, oh, there's evil in this town, be warned, but he doesn't give a shit, so he just says, give me my fucking potions and I'm out of here. And that's what happens. We then learn that the king needed this thing called he needed a quest for mind, body, and spirit, not in that order. It was body, mind, and spirit in that order. And each of the rooms, now we had our own, now in the room the first room was nothing but sand, like just pure sand, and around us was a small area roughly about this big. Pretty small, but that's where we were standing. And the only way to move forward was playing or speaking words in order to move forward. But throughout the sand there were scorpions. So, So, with that being said, we had to move forward, but we had to move forward in such a way that we had to make sure we didn't encounter any of the scorpions. Because if we do, our party is going to be rendered vulnerable and potentially killed. Because with my character, she has the power to use acid balls, so she could huck acid balls at anything, but the downside to it is that there's a splash radius, so anybody within that splash radius will get damaged. So I couldn't use any of my abilities. I can only use the staff that I have and whack things with it. So we got into a moment where we're like, okay, so we're just gonna move forward as a group and just kind of move our way through the dungeon, because that's the only we could do. We can't really do much of anything. So we're doing it, and we're making it, and then we get encountered with a scorpion. We had to become an encounter with at least one scorpion. So, as we were doing this, we all came down to the fact that I was immune, because I rolled a natural 20, I believe. Yeah, I rolled a natural 20, and ended up becoming immune to the poison that was in the scorpions. So, worked out in the end. So I warned the entire party, like, dudes, don't fucking touch this, because honestly, we're fucked. If any of you get poisoned, you're fucked. We have no way of curing you at this point, because Zivix spent all his money on the health potions, but no cure potions. So you're kind of screwed at this point. So we ended up beating that scorpion. We ended up getting to the door. And of course, we saw the entire map, and there was a bunch of scorpions littered all over the fucking map. And And at that point, and it just mind blown. And we're like, wow, this room was empty, but there was a ton of scorpions everywhere. So we're at the door, and the door does this, and it's pretty funny. The door does this. He goes, "This one is a blah blah blah," right? So we're like, oh crap, what is this? So we're trying to figure out, like, what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? And we're all trying to run around trying to think of things of what it's saying, and then finally they're like, "Does this one like music?" And the door was like, "Yes, this one is amused." And of course the cryptic fucking puzzle was, this one is like, the key is key. And we're like, what the fuck does that mean? I'll put it up on the screen. What it said was, this key is key. And we're like, what the fuck does that mean? And we're like, well, whatever. And we're doing our things, like the K girl, she starts doing her booty dance, the booty dance, and then the door's like, this one is amused. And they're like, well, what is the thing? Will you open? He's like, no. I'm like, only if you have the magic word. And I think Einhorn, or whatever his name is, Einhorn. He goes, key, and the door just opens. We're like, holy shit, that was easy. But then we enter the spirit, and we're like, oh, okay then. So, and this was a very clever thing to break the story for a second. What our DM did was that, since we're getting introduced to, ironically enough, 5th edition, he wanted to do it in a way where we don't pick the alignments, but he will forcibly pick the alignments. So, here's where things get interesting. Zivix runs down, and he sees one of the chests. He runs to the chest because there was two people. There was a wizard and a human, or whatever, I think a warrior, sleeping, along with a tent in the middle, another chest, and then a campfire right next to the chest, and another chest down in the lower. If you were looking at the map, it'd be right here, in the lower, right here. So they went down. He went down there from the door, which was on the top, which is about right here. He went down there to get the chest, and the chest. And as soon as he started lockpicking it, he vanished. And the party was like, "Well then, what do we do?" I'm like, "What do we do at this point? We don't even, like, holy shit." So we're like, "Okay, we gotta think." I can't remember her name. Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I know the name. I just gotta look it up. Where's the name? Damn it! I gotta look. Fuck me. I think it's still here. Kurtz is her name. I have to look it up real quick because I still have the thing open. I think I'll take a picture. Actually, ironically enough, give me one quick second. I'm going to take a picture of the area that we were in because I still have it open. And I'll put it up on the screen while I'm talking because this is really, really cool. Alright. But, of course, me being me, I'm going to edit all this crap out so you don't know. Alright. Any case, what you're looking at right now, as I put up over here, where you're probably looking right about here in this general area, is the actual map. And the cool thing about it was that when we were doing our thing, hold on, I can't really keep it. So when we were doing our thing, ow, keep knocking into things. But when we were doing our thing, they were vanishing, and whatever, like I said, crap, I can't remember her name. Crap, what was it? It was, crap, I have it here. Kurtz. When Kurtz did her thing, she vanished. She went over to that female girl you see there with the spear. She went over to her, looked down, and got a little bit of insight. She vanished. I'm like, well, crap. I believe our warrior ran up to the tent. He was like, I'm going to go in the tent. And he ran off into the tent and he vanished. The guy, there was another one, we had 2 bards. Not Einhorn. I think Einhorn, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember which one. But he did a thing, and then he vanished. He talked to the door. One of them talked to the door, and he vanished. Then the other one tried to inspect the room, and he vanished. And then all was left was me and I believe another one of our characters. I forgot. I think it was another warrior or whatever. And it was just me and him. And I looked at him and I was like, our DM tried to point me and him in the right direction. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't think we're actually... I think this might be the spirit, because think about it. Maybe this entire room in and of itself isn't really real. Perhaps we're not even in this... Maybe we're in a different plane of existence. Perhaps maybe our team is in another plane, but we're here in this plane. So it doesn't matter what we touch. Maybe we'll end up somewhere else. And then with that, I vanish, and all I was left was him. And he stood there trying to figure it out, and he said, well, I have one shot at this. And he went over to the wizard that you see here, and he touches him to try to wake him, and he vanishes, and we end up back in the chamber. And with that being said, we ended up back there, and the wizard the king that gave us the quest, he said he wanted to only have the purest of the pure, because that king was a vampire, and he needed only the purest blood. With that being said, our story then continues as our party, is stuck in a prison that this now vampire king has locked us in. Thank you all for listening to this story. I'm going to have plenty of stories. Thank you very much to the DM who is running this game. It is by far one of the coolest games I think I've ever been a part of, and probably my first game I've been a part of, and I'm having so much fun playing it. It is by far the coolest game to grace me, and a great introduction to a homebrewed version of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next Nyx's Dungeons & Dragons stories. Bye-bye, everybody, and I'll see you guys then. Remember, roll for that initiative.